this morning, 7:30 a.m. I asked him, Siming, what's your biggest regret of your 20s? And then he was like, Hazeltail, is this a bit too early for such a deep question?
It is lah. I would have
A bit,
slept
right?
if you
Yeah.
asked me at 7 a.m.
Hi, it's Hazel.
Hey, it's Azura.
And welcome to another episode of Clarities Podcast. Today we're missing Jeremy because she went for a wisdom tooth extraction.
So is she wiser or is she like less wise now?
Maybe the
Stay
latter.
tuned to find out.
But today in her place, we want to welcome a very, very darling colleague of ours, PD Min.
Hi everyone.
So she's usually behind the scenes. But now you get to see her in all her glory.
Correct. And you know, if you don't already know this, she actually writes the scripts that we present to you. All the research done by our team, and including today's script as well, right?
Yes.
Okay, how about you tell us what we're going to talk about today?
Yes.
We are going to be talking about regrets.
Correct.
Yes, because I feel like everyone at some point will regret in their life.
Can you
Correct.
tell everybody what's the side note that you put in the script?
My starting line of the script was, everyone has regrets, right? Minus Azura.
It's true though. Zura is such a happy-go-lucky kind of girl. But today we actually have a specific context to regrets. And that is regrets in our 20s. Now, I feel like this is a very volatile kind of
Period.
phase. Yeah,
Yes.
period. Where we do things maybe a bit recklessly. But towards the later part of our 20s, logic starts to come in. Rational starts to come in.
I mean,
Right?
we've spent quite a number of years in our 20s. So we have some basis to speak about
Correct.
this.
And what do you think regret is?
For me, regret is like that feeling you get when you realize you should have done something differently instead, or should have said something differently.
I agree. It's a funny combination of anger, sadness, disappointment.
Is
to me.
it?
It's quite a sucky feeling to feel. And the thing about regret is, I feel like they come in very gradually when you least expect it. And then it just like tears you apart.
I'm trying to think like, it can't be that I've never felt that or I don't know what you're talking about. But I a bit don't know leh.
Okay, maybe then this next question, your answer will be not very often. But
Okay.
how often do you girls find yourself regretting about something?
Not very often.
I'm a frequent regretter, I like to say.
Like in the small decisions in life or the bigger decisions?
Small and big. So like sometimes I'll be like, I should have done this instead, or should I have said this instead?
Right, for me, it feels like when I go on air
Okay.
and when I finish the talk set, I go into the song. And sometimes I'll find myself thinking, I should not have picked this song. I should have picked a better song to go with that talk set. Or like the conversation that I just
Okay.
did on air. So these are some small regrets I have in my life. I'm very sure, Zura, you confirm have some sort of like small regrets on.
Okay, so actually, right, did you know that every day on the daily, every human being makes about 35,000 decisions. Every day you're
Really?
making about 35,000 decisions.
Oh, I've never seen it this way. Okay.
Because everything is a choice.
Correct.
Sometimes it's subconscious, but
Yeah.
it's
Right.
a choice.
And even now, what should we say next?
Yes.
It's a decision. It's a
Yes.
choice.
That's true.
And when you said like, you know, sometimes you think, oh, maybe this was better. Or maybe, oh, I should have done this. I know what that means. I know what that feels like. Because like when you talk about radio, then I
Right.
got it. Like, okay, yes, I have that feeling too. But I think the difference is that I let it go so quick.
Right. You move
Because
on.
In my mind, anything that I can't change or I can't do anything about, I will not think about. Because I cannot do anything.
But it's not everybody who can be like Zura, you know. You say you want to let go and you actually do let go. Sometimes it's so hard to let it go.
I think mine was born out of trauma, guys.
Oh my
We'll dive
goodness.
deep into that later.
Yes, please share a few tips with us, okay?
I can try, but I think it is born out of trauma.
But like what Azura mentioned, we have spent enough years in our 20s to have some experiences. So what are some of the biggest regrets you girls have in your 20s?
Okay, so for me, right, I've always told people that the biggest regret in my life or in my 20s, early years of my 20s, was going to university.
Oh,
So
wow.
for people who don't know, I did like history. At the end of the 4 years, I just felt like I could have done something different because I didn't know what I was going to do with a history degree. Because everyone that comes up to me when I tell them I do history, they'll be like, oh, are you going to be a historian? That just
Well,
turns
she's
me
here at
off,
Hush
like-
Podcast now.
Yes.
Yeah, then I have to go on about like and tell them, oh no, like there are other options that I can explore
Right.
and everything.
Actually, like what?
You can be a research. You can go into research. You can do data.
Academics.
Yeah,
Okay,
academics, data
be an
analyst.
educator,
Yeah,
okay.
if you really, really want, you can go into like archaeology. Some of my friends are interested. They go there.
But what do you regret that though? It
Correct.
sounds incredible,
Right.
actually.
I don't know, just perhaps not fulfilled enough in the things that I've done in uni. I could have used that 4 years to do something different. But then again, when I was making the decision to go, like to work after poly, right, or go to university, I didn't know what I wanted. So I just made the decision to go uni and took on the first choice that was given to me.
I see.
But like, also for context, I really liked history when I was in secondary school.
Oh.
That's why I took it. I thought it was fun. It's fun, but like I went there to
get a degree.
get a
basically.
degree and
the
like
Asian kind
yes,
of route, right?
yeah.
So after that 4 years, given a choice, what did you wish you had done instead?
Yeah.
That's why I don't know. Like I cannot see myself doing engineering because oh my god, it's so technical.
What
right?
about arts?
Maybe I would have studied harder so that I can choose another major like sociology. But then
I
again, it's
see.
still the same. Like we're still in the same space of like social sciences, right?
So why didn't you consider just working after poly and not even pursuing university?
My parents told me to pursue a university degree, which right now I don't blame them for because
Okay.
I do see value in pursuing a university degree.
For sure, for
yeah.
sure.
Okay, here's how I see it, right? Especially because you don't know what you would have done differently about it.
Mm-hmm.
The way I see it is that, I've always been on the camp of nobody said you have to do what you study.
Yes.
Yeah, I was
Zura
always,
did law.
Yeah, and people question that all the time.
Right.
But I've always been on the camp that nobody said you have to do what you study because I find them to be very separate.
Correct.
Yes, sure, in some fields, obviously, like if that's something that you want to do down the road in life, you need to have studied that. Some fields, right?
Yeah.
Sure. But other than that, I feel like school in general to me is nothing but personal development. It's nothing
Agree.
but critical thinking. It's nothing but certain skills that you take on with you that you apply in different other ways in life. I feel like school opens your mind. After that, it's up to you to go and like,
Correct.
yeah.
So, fun story. I actually met Jai Si-ming in the makeup unit this morning, 7:30 a.m. I asked him, Si-ming, what's your biggest regret of your 20s? And then he was like, Hazeltail, is this a bit too early for such a deep question?
It is lah. I would have
A bit,
slept
right?
if you
Yeah.
asked me at 7 a.m.
But he answered me.
Okay.
He said, maybe I shouldn't have pursued what I pursued in university. If I didn't remember wrongly, I think he pursued engineering because he feels like there's nothing to do with what he's doing right now. But that was because he didn't know he was going to join the Star Search competition.
Yeah.
Right.
So we all don't know how our life will unfold ahead of us. We
Correct.
can't
True.
possibly be making decisions ahead of the future.
Yes.
Right? And I actually asked this question on my Instagram stories as well. You'll be surprised at how many people actually responded. For example, this person called Jenny, she says, the choice of study I picked while in uni, I focus on school rather than social skills and life skills, and as a result, I have low confidence. This is the biggest regret of a 20s.
But you can still work on it now.
Yes.
No need to regret.
Exactly. I agree as well. Chun Hui says, I regret that I didn't go for a long overseas exchange during my university days.
Okay.
Ooh,
Yeah.
Can I add on to that?
Yeah, sure.
I don't think it should be a regret though, because like you're still able to travel. It's just that your experience will be
It's
different.
different.
It's
Yes.
not in the
Yes.
educational field.
I didn't go for an exchange as well because like I didn't have the monetary capacity to do so.
fully understand.
Yes. It was a tad regret, but like I had my solo trip. And it's fun. Experience a bit different, but like it still feels similar.
Correct.
Like that tinge of freedom that you get.
And a solo trip is actually cheaper than an exchange because you don't go for so long, right? And you don't have to pay the educational expenses. Yeah. Like Zura, I don't think I have many regrets in my life, but there are certainly some things that I think I could have done differently. One of them being how I used my annual leave.
Guys, it's a battle every year.
Better to use it, finish, or what?
No. Oh, no
Oh,
problem.
no
to finish
problem.
using it at all. Like, trust me. But what do you want to use it on? So for radio jobs, like I go on air 5 to 8 p.m. Let's say an event comes in today that requires me to host from like 6 to 8. It clashes with my radio, right? Well, then I'll have to use one day of my annual leave to excuse myself from radio to attend this event.
Correct.
You might say, but under the same company, why still need to take leave to go to this event?
Yeah.
But radio is radio, events are events. And as long as I'm missing my radio job, I'm not fulfilling my responsibilities, and I have to use my leave, right? So in that sense, for many, many years, I have been allocating my annual leaves on outside engagements. Basically, I use my leave
To do some more
to do more work. Of course, that makes me more money. But at the end of it all, like after 7 years in the industry, I look back and I ask myself, what have I gained in the past 7 years of me stepping to society? I wish I could have used my youth and my time on more overseas experiences or more solo trips. In fact, I want to try backpacking this year. It scares the hell out of me, by the way, but I want to try. I just want to
Do it.
step out of my
Sounds
comfort
fun.
zone.
Yeah.
That's all my regret. So to our listeners or viewers listening or watching Hush Podcast, I'd say really give your AL some thought. How you want to use it. I think it's very important.
I tell you, okay, there was 1 year, right? Okay, so basically, our leaves are not Jan to Jan, but FY
April
to FY.
to March.
So
Correct.
April to end of March. There was this 1 year. Basically, obviously, our leaves just restarted in April, right? 1st of April. I think June I finished already. Or I think June I was left with like 5 to last me till the next April. Can you imagine? Honestly.
But you spent it on.
A holiday. A 3-week holiday.
That's why. That's incredible, isn't it? I love that.
Okay, I want to ask you actually.
Come.
Here is why I don't believe in regrets. Because maybe it's like toxic positivity, I don't know. But for me, right, I always see it as even if I regret something, I know that there's something else that's good that I got out of it. Let me ask you, in your 4 years in uni, as much as you regretted that time, as much as you regretted, taking history and whatever it is, did something good come out of it? Was there ever like if I did not do this, I would not have met this person?
Well, I didn't meet the love of my life in uni.
It's
so,
okay.
Yeah. But I have great friends. And I think like taking all the modules in history, right, really helps me think critically and better.
Oh.
Yeah, like it opens up your perspective to like the different kinds of like stories you hear every day. Like just, you get to think and see things from different perspectives and not just very one-sided. That's what I love.
There's
That's what I
something
mean.
good out of everything, isn't it?
Mm.
That's what I mean. Okay, I think we've spoken about this before, and I think the way that, for anybody wondering how I've managed to live this way,
Huh.
I boil it down to one moment.
Okay.
And we've spoken about this actually on the episode where we spoke about death. And I boil it down to that moment. Until today, I will always say that I think that was the turning point in my life. And I think that changed everything for me. If you don't know what I'm talking about, you can go refer to an episode. I think about why are we so afraid to speak about death. Basically, the TLDR is that I lost a very, very close friend of mine, one of my bestest friends, when I was 18, 19. And that changed me forever. It changed me forever. That's the biggest regret of my life, that in her last months and days, as much as I should have known, when someone's in the hospital, it's critical and it's important and it's urgent. But because it was a lifelong condition and because she had always outlived it, I had taken things for granted. And I had felt, it's another one. And I was busily shuttling between two countries. And I just lost my way through that. And it hit me right at that point. And I think that was the single incident that changed me for life, that made me the person I am today, where regret is my biggest fear. And I will, before you all started doing it for the plot, I don't do things for the plot, but I do things out of the fear of regret. Like, it scares me so much that I would rather dive head in and head on, even if it lands me into some sort of like trouble.
Right.
But I know at least it's not regret.
And at least you tried.
Yeah.
So there's no regret.
Yeah.
So then how do you like let go of things? You mentioned you were someone
Have
who
you
can
forgiven
easily let
yourself?
go of things, right? Now, I feel like that's really useful if you want to set regret aside.
Okay, 2 questions here, right? How do I let go of things? And did you hear what she
Have
said?
you
No, I did not.
forgiven yourself?
Actually, I've never thought about it. So when she said it, I was like, oh. I think I have. I couldn't speak about it for many, many, many years, actually. But I think maybe the day I started being able to speak of it and tell people about it, maybe that was when I was a bit more comfortable with it, that I accepted that, And I think I will always be grateful and thankful that I learned that so early in life. Because imagine learning it in your 50s, 60s, and not having the time that I have now
Correct.
to live, technically to your fullest or as full as you can. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's very important. Learning to forgive yourself, like PD Min mentioned, and practicing self-acceptance. Whatever decisions that you have made, I think it's also very important for you to accept that you made this call.
Yes.
So just roll with it. There will always be something good that comes out of everything.
100%.
I feel like you can always give yourself the goal. Like if you regret this, then like next time just tell yourself to try. Like if you are given another opportunity, just do it because you don't want to regret. Like, yeah.
Okay, so here are what some people from various articles that we have sourced, the top regrets that people have.
Let's hear it.
Number 1, living the life that your parents want for you, not the life that you want for yourself.
Ooh, damn.
Wow, tough. Honestly, I'm just so blessed that my parents have never forced me into doing anything that I don't want to. But I have had friends who are like that. They are doing engineering courses, not because they want to, but because their parents think that, hey, it's good for you. You'll be able to make something out of it next time.
See, right? Here's the thing. Like, maybe I'm a bit extreme. We know this by now, lah.
A bit.
A bit. But this is my problem with societal timeline, societal expectations, parental expectations. This is my problem with it. That when you fall into it, sometimes the consequences of it traps you for way longer than you would like it to.
Correct.
I agree.
And I would hate to live that way. And it's not that I'm not grateful, but I think at the end of the day, sometimes you need to fight one. And it's a fight for yourself.
Correct.
Yes.
Correct.
At the end of the day, I feel like it is your life and you're going to look back on your life and how you lived it. And if you live it by the way your parents want you to, you will thoroughly hate yourself for it. Because I feel like I've been in a similar experience.
Do you think you went to uni because of your parents?
I think I did that partially also because I didn't know what to do. And at that point in time, like, I think everyone around me was also going to university. So it makes the most sense for anyone to go to uni if they have the capacity to do so, right? I don't think I fully blamed my parents for it, but I blame perhaps myself for not working hard enough to go into like a course that can bring me somewhere.
No,
you know?
don't say that. We didn't know any better when we were younger, right?
Yeah. And I think aside to university degree, as you all know, I have very strict parents growing up. So they've always wanted me to be a good daughter where I just go home, stay at home and like enjoy like dinner with them every day. For the longest time of my life, I felt like I had to live according to their standards. So I had curfews. I would be home by the curfew. It was impossible for me to break out of that curfew. So I felt like I had to trap myself or be the person that they wanted me to be.
Okay, I don't want to be the bad friend here, but what's the worst that can happen? Let's say your curfew is 10. You go home at 12. What's the worst that can happen?
It's actually quite bad. Yeah.
How? Like what kind? Got happened before?
It just turns into quarrels and cold wars. Like, she will not speak to me.
So is this still out of love, this curfew thing? Or is this because you just want your daughter to go according to what you wish? There's a difference.
Yeah, but like...
No offense, auntie.
Yeah, like...
Maybe just a little.
The point is, right, I've broken all these rules. And now I have broken free. That's
good
the
for
thing.
you.
Yes.
Good for you. No, I'm not saying that like going against your parents.
Yes.
But you must recognize what works for yourself.
Yeah, so I think the moral of this story, despite my family trauma or childhood trauma, is that do what you want to do with life because ultimately you don't want to regret. You know, like you don't want to look back when you're 25, like, oh, I didn't do this when I'm 18. You want to look back when you're 30 and be like, okay, I did this and then now I'm here. Like that's what I hope I have done for myself. And I hope like everyone can do that for themselves.
I 100% agree. And you know, like I've seen it so many times where people who, for many years of their lives, listen to someone else or make decisions based on someone else, they carry a resentment in them, guys. And it's ugly. It's ugly and it's sad.
True.
And I would hate to live that way. And I'm so sorry you're living that way. You
but
know?
it can't help it. Like it was not. It was beyond their control. Let's just put it this way.
I understand.
Right?
I don't know. I do acknowledge that I'm a rare species. And honestly, like, it's not a great thing, okay, to be honest. Like, it's not a great thing.
It's not a great thing to hate, leh. Like, how do you go around your life, like, hating every single thing?
Correct.
Because things are not in your control, but you have
It's
that control in your
tiring.
hand. What?
Correct. So let me give you an example. Let me break it down for you, right? Because I also obviously had rules in place when I was growing up. I just don't know how to follow rules. I'm so sorry to anybody who had to deal with me, but It has always been like that. Let me give you an example, okay? So you know when you're in school and your test paper, you gotta take it home with your parents for them to sign it.
Okay.
Forge your parents' signature.
No, I would never do that. So I've always been that person. If I'm gonna do something bad, I will let you see it, or I will tell you. I'm not one to lie or hide. I don't like it. So I brought it home. I didn't do as well as my mother wanted me to, and she didn't want to sign it. And I said, nobody said that signing means you're happy. You sign to say that you've seen it. I need to take it to my teacher, and I need her to know that you've seen it.
Wow.
I'm a handful, honestly.
If I were your mother, I would be like dumbfounded and like take out the pen immediately to
But
sign
I'm
it.
correct, right?
Yeah,
Was
you
that
are.
wrong?
Right. Yeah, true.
Yeah, because she was threatening me, I'm not gonna sign it. You take it to your teacher and tell her I'm not happy. I'm like, you're not happy, a problem lah. But now, sign is to say that you've seen it, what?
That's true. You cannot
did
do
she sign it in
anything
the end?
about it.
Yes.
Oh.
And then I got a little bit older, and maybe I was about like 15 or 16. And at that age, you're going out with your friends and things like that, right? And because my friends had always been older than I was, so I think there was this one day that I wanted to go out at night. And she was not happy about it, and she was not going to let me out. I think she kept saying like, why can't you go out in the day? And I was just like, go out 3 hours at night. Go out 3 hours in the day. Actually, what's the difference? 3 hours outside, ma. Light, no light on you. Sun, no sun. What? Actually, why do people make a big deal out of like going out at night? I was so confused. I was like, what does this mean? Like, what is the difference? 3 hours, 3 hours. What is the difference? Why do people make like going out at night such a thing?
Maybe because it's more dangerous to go out at night. And there are more drunk people at night, maybe, after dinner, their drinks. Maybe she's concerned about safety.
But my counter is always, but Singapore's so safe. Like I'm
No
not in.
crime does not mean no crime.
Yes.
Right, that's what we always say until an accident happens,
But
right?
thank you, Singapore, for low crime.
Yes, agree. Maybe this next regret, you can relate a bit. Letting the party go on a little too long. Do you regret that? Or do you feel like, yeah, you're living your best life? Come, tell Azura.
I sometimes I wake up and I regret, like, damn it. But no, because I know that it's moments that I'll never have again. If I didn't stay that 2 hours longer, maybe I would not have had this conversation with a friend that brought our relationship to the next level. If I didn't stay that 2 hours longer, maybe I wouldn't have these memories that I would never have again. Because at the end of the day, whatever time that I'm spending with people around me, we're never going to be in that moment, in that time again.
Fair? This next
But when I
one.
need to wake up, I regret lah.
Okay, this next one, I feel like a lot of people maybe can relate. Working on a relationship before you work on yourself. Sometimes maybe we are so eager to love, we are so eager to give, and we don't realize what we are compromising on is actually ourselves. Have you guys ever experienced that?
Well, I haven't been in a long-term relationship before, but like I'm the
If
kind
you're
that
interested, please.
Drop us a DM at itsclarity.co.
She's smart. She's beautiful.
Thank
She's
you.
a gym girly now.
but my standards are high.
As you should, honey.
Yeah, but like I feel like I'll be the kind that will fall head first and I'll give everything I can in a relationship. But that doesn't mean that I am not comfortable with myself. It's just
Correct.
that I would always be willing to give my partner first and I'll always put his needs first before mine.
Is that a beige flag here? I don't know.
I don't know.
As a
but, like,
girly, maybe you should balance that a bit more.
okay.
Have you experienced anything like that?
I think you would.
Yes, actually, I think one of my biggest regrets in my 20s is saying yes when I feel like I should have said no. In terms of relationships, sometimes I tell myself, okay, maybe this is the one. Let's give it a go. But maybe I should have given myself more time.
But the thing is, now you know. But
Correct.
if you didn't do it, you wouldn't have
Correct.
known.
Right.
But if I had done things differently then, would I have saved myself some heartbreaks?
Oh, so are you
sure.
the kind that would like the guy would pursue you first, then you'll say, okay, you're okay to give it a try, but then you end up falling more harder.
No,
for
she
it,
likes
you
to
know?
pursue.
Yeah, I like to pursue guys. Like, I don't like to be pursued in a sense because I know what kind of people I like and then
Right.
I go for it, right?
Right.
I express my
success rate,
interest.
Abi?
Ooh.
Huh? Later I calculate. I
Okay,
calculate, I
okay.
tell you. Okay. But, how do I put it? So, after this, I feel like, okay, if I like this guy, I go for it. I find like I will fall head over heels also. Like past the initial stage of, is this good for
Sure.
me? Do I like him? Can he meet my standards? I go for it. oh my gosh, then it's like, woo! What's my heart doing? I think all girls are the same. But okay, I will never put his needs before mine. I feel like this should be balanced.
But you see,
But that comes after years of like relationship experience.
correct. That's the experience that
Correct.
because you allowed yourself to have, now you know. Yeah.
So my question is, have you ever regretted a relationship?
Yes. Many relationships actually.
The relationship or the person? Which one do you regret?
Are they not hand in hand? That person that I'm with forms the relationship that I'm experiencing. So I think to a certain extent,
Sure.
they come in a package.
Which one?
Long time ago.
Okay.
Especially the ones when I was younger. And
Like the slipper one.
the sleeper. Oh my god. You're never forgetting the Havaiana story, I swear. But have you girls considered this question? Between men and women, which gender is more likely to have regrets?
Do we
Okay,
actually have a study?
There is a study that's done. But before I tell you the results, maybe you tell me what you think. Men or
Right.
women?
I think men.
You think men?
Yeah, my intuition is man.
For me, I feel like women tread more carefully in society. I mean, it's what the macro situation is, right? And as a result, we may be put at a disadvantage, which is why I feel like women may have more regrets. We don't pursue what we like. We pursue what people think we should do to be capable, to be independent. Okay, but anyway, based on a US study done in 2011, women regret love failures more than men,
Sure.
while men had ranked work regrets above romantic regrets.
Interesting.
So I guess it's a fair thing. Both equally have regrets, but they're just in different fields.
Interesting.
Yeah, but work regrets for men, romantic regrets for women.
Because men are... Sorry.
Finish the sentence?
No, you feel that yourself.
But what's interesting is also based on the 2005 study, education regrets came in top place.
I think when you're younger, no one actually sits you down and tells you that the reason why you need to do well is because the better you do, the more options you open up for yourself.
Correct.
Nobody told you that. So I think the problem is that when you don't understand why you're doing something, you're kind of opposed to doing it. Because why am I doing it? And then much later on in life, you realize what you want and you realize what you can't have because of what you don't have based on choices that you made earlier on in your life.
That's true. And I think we all only wish we can be like Zura. Take the leap of faith, never look back, don't regret. I mean, I feel like you're very inspirational, babe. Like, can learn a thing or two from you.
Yeah,
To
I agree.
when I want to take my next leap of faith. On that note, did you guys know that, according to some psychologists, the feeling of regret is not only just perfectly normal, it can also be healthy. It's so mind-blowing, isn't it? I've never thought of regret this way, that it can be healthy.
Tell us more.
Okay, so according to the psychologists, regrets are, of course, they're hard to avoid. They can be painful. And the author of this book called The Power of Regret said that the mantra, no regrets, is 100% wrong. You know how so many people like say, no regrets in life, no regrets in life? Impossible. It's only normal because, like Zura mentioned, we make 35,000 decisions in a day. How can we not regret a single one? Right? It is
Sometimes
normal.
you order food and it's not nice and you're like,
you
damn
regret.
it, I should have chosen something else.
I should have gone for twister fries instead of normal fries.
Correct.
That's also regret.
Yes.
You buy that
Right.
dress, you wonder why you buy that dress. Then it's in your wardrobe.
Correct.
It's also regret.
Yes.
So point is, moving on is just very important to let go of like the negative emotions that you feel. Okay, quickly, let's just share what's a certain thing that we'll do if you want to move on from regret. I feel like I want to hear PD Min's answer.
Ooh. I will picture myself in the same scenario again, say out whatever I want to say my piece and move on.
Such a good idea.
Yeah.
So like you are in a situation
Yes.
and then you said,
A certain thing, for example.
Yes. Then I didn't say what I want, right? Then I'll be like, okay, imagine I'm in this situation again. What will I want to say? I'll be
Fair.
like, okay, I'll say all this out, either to myself or write in a journal. Then I'll be like, okay, say my piece, I'm done, move on.
And you know that next time you face similar situations, that's exactly what you have said.
Yeah.
So for me, taking the AL example, right? I think moving on, starting from this year, I'm not going to sacrifice my annual leave for any jobs.
maybe a small percentage.
Okay, yeah, maybe a small percentage.
Really?
I still need to earn the money.
Yes.
Maybe a small
I
percentage.
know this go
but
too
not
well,
so much.
so give yourself a few days,
Yeah,
babe.
what if the event you really want to go?
Then I will
Yeah.
go. Like
Yeah lah.
these events. Like even if they're unpaid, I feel like, oh, I really want to go for this event. Then I'll take it.
Yeah.
You know what? I've actually started doing it. I've actually started to turn down jobs because I want to save my AL.
I'm so proud.
So I think it's very important. I'm just gonna try to make that backpacking trip happen for me.
Oh my god, where are you thinking?
Yeah,
of?
where?
I have no idea.
Nepal.
Okay, what about yourself?
I've never thought of myself that way.
Okay.
And so whenever you all say these kind of things, obviously it's very strange to me. I remember recently, like, a friend was in a situation and she was stressing over it crazy. Like, cannot stop thinking about it, driving herself mad thinking about it. And I said, yeah, but cannot do anything, what? And then she said, actually, how do you just manage to switch yourself off and not think about it? And I don't know how to explain. Like, I know that when y'all hear it, you understand it in theory.
Correct.
But I know a lot of people don't know how to practice it. But it's so second nature to me because it just becomes like if I can't change anything about it and I can't do anything about it and I have no solution to it, I literally will not think about it because it will tire me out. It will make me upset. I don't like those emotions. Why should I feel that way? I need to live now.
Correct. But to some people, it's hard to even stop thinking about it.
I know.
That's the point. But once you get past that stage, I think the rest will be a breeze.
Correct. But I would have to say, right, that honestly, and I've thought about this a couple of times as well, I think sometimes, I don't know if it's a bit extreme, but I do think that because I'm so fearful of regret, I do acknowledge that I think sometimes I make my path and my life a little bit harder.
But you like it that way, don't you?
It's not that I like it that way, but I think there's a reason why sometimes people stick to the safe route because it saves you a little bit of heartache. I'll be very honest with you.
Yes, makes you feel more secure.
Yes. Living life in such a way that you do things because of the fear of regret, it will expose you to more heartaches. Will I change it? Maybe not. Because I still feel like I'm grateful that I got to experience that, you know? Like between having loved and lost and never loved at all, I would always choose to have like loved
Love
and
and
lost.
loss.
Some people might not, but you know, let it lor. Think what ifs are like a no-go for me.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, so to all of our viewers and listeners tuning into this episode, we know that sometimes it's inevitable that we have some regrets in our heart. But let's try to all live and let live and be a better version of ourselves every single day.
Yes, live and let live. Some people have resolutions where they say they want to say yes more. Some people on the reverse have resolutions where they say they want to say no more.
Depends on the situation.
Correct. And whatever that may be for you, because I think there's no one day or there's no one time that you're the same person.
Correct.
You're changing every day.
True.
Wise words.
Hey, thank you, leh.
Any final words for our viewers, Kitty Min?
I would say just do it and take the leap of faith. Regardless, I think your biggest regret will be not doing it more than doing it. And you will always become a better version of yourself if you know that you have done it.
For me, I feel like you have to let go of the past version of yourself. As long as you're still trapped in that past you won't be able to move forward. So if you want to try new things, then you got to start forgetting about the past. So we hope that this helps.
But also work on your own timeline.
Correct?
There's no rush to it.
Right.
Healing and growing is extremely uncomfortable,
Oh.
but we take baby steps anyway.
Yes.
There's actually a little framework that they've put up about dealing with regret. And I will link this to my own life, okay? We go through the steps together.
Okay.
First, you practice self-acceptance.
Okay.
This one, I'm a professional. I'll tell you, before you all call me out, I call myself out first. So as long as you accept it, right? Like, just pinpoint to where the problem is. I know it's uncomfortable
Okay.
to like admit. But okay, at least you accept. It's done.
Correct.
Cannot do anything.
And after you accept it, learn to forgive yourself. Okay?
Yes.
It's okay. Whatever happened already happened. There's nothing you can do to turn time back anyway. So forgive yourself.
We learn and we
Yeah,
grow because
correct.
sometimes some mistakes you just got to make for yourself. Even if the world tells you like you shouldn't have done that, you shouldn't have done that. But sometimes, right, I don't stop people because I believe some mistakes you got to make for
Correct.
yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But if in the process you hurt someone or something, then apologize for your mistakes.
Correct. And then after that, you take action. If I can't change that, what can I do better next?
And just reframe your thoughts, as we mentioned just now. Find the positive aspects of your current situation. I always believe there's the silver lining, you know?
Always. It's like if you regretted going to a school, you know, but you made like your
New
best
friends.
friend there or like a group of friends that, you know, helped you later on in life or, you know, people you can't live without now, then it's like if you never went there, you would never have met them. So there's always something good that comes out of it, you know?
True. Regrets are temporary. Experiences are forever.
Aww, golden words.
Yes.
This is such a wholesome episode, girls.
It really is. It's like I don't have items to show, but I've got stories to tell.
Oh,
Yeah.
love
Except
it.
I have too many.
I guess you can find out more about Azura's stories or on our Instagram at isclarity.co.
That's right. If you want to listen to all the other stories, learn about just finding yourself, how it's a journey, how we found ourselves through a journey. And we're still finding ourselves, let's be honest.
Yeah.
We're on Spotify, Me Listen, as well as Apple Podcasts. Turn on your notifications.
Make sure you comment down below on any regrets you have in life, and we'll be sure to read it or do a part 2.
Oh, we'll be most happy to do so. We are also on YouTube, by the way. So if you're more of a visual kind of person, you can find us on YouTube at isclarity.co too. Once again, I'm Hazel.
I'm Azura.
And it's pity me.
We'll see you next time. Bye. No, I don't want to go together with Azura.
Why?
She too gung-ho already.
You
I
think we'll-
scared.
You think I'll get us killed or what?
a bit like, honestly.
She'll ask you to hike the tallest mountain. She'll be up there and then you'll still be at the bottom.
No, I'll be up there. She'll be like, babe, I can't already. You told me to hike this mountain.
Actually, what was my question? Hold on. It was very important. Wait, please give me a second. Oh my god, please give me a second.
She's gonna regret this.
I'm gonna regret
Regretting that she forgot.